We've got dead teenagers, franchise crossovers, first time meetings, and DC taking it to the next level. Happy Friday the 13th, and welcome back to the channel where we talk about only good comics. I'm Brant, and this is Friday First. This is that series where we talk about those brand new number one issues, new character debuts, new story arcs, and the like. And this is for books that are coming out on March 18th, 2026. We've got a top 13 apropos for the day that we are doing this on. This week, we also have one honorable mention, one noteworthy. So we're going to get to that 15 books in total, but that top 13 is what we're going to focus on mostly. So we're not going to waste any time this week. Um, I've been a little bit under the weather, so I'm going to apologize ahead of time if I'm a little brief in my summations of all these books. But hopefully, you still enjoyed the show. So let's get into that honorable mention. All right, since it is Friday the 13th, I figured it would be appropriate to have our honorable mention be Super Creep Show, issue number one from Image Comics. This is a book that I might not particularly pick up because the horror genre is just not particularly my thing. But you've got some really cool creators here. You've got Kieran Gillen, you've got Ryan North, Derek Charm. So these are, really great creators that are going to be telling some horror stories in this book from Image Comics. You got a Spider-Man homage cover, so who knows? Maybe I will get it, but just in case, I thought I'd put it in the honorable mention. And if you are a big horror fan, or you just like any of these creators, definitely check this one out. Next up is our one and only noteworthy comic this week, and it is G.I. Joe number 20. This is noteworthy because I'm not exactly sure it's like a new arc or a first anything. The only thing it's a first is the meeting between the Energon universe's Duke from G.I. Joe and Optimus Prime, or Optimus Prime from Transformers. So first time these two characters are meeting in the Energon universe, that's going to be a pretty big deal. So I'm really excited about that, and I definitely had to include that on the list. But with that said, let's get into those official top 13. Coming in at number 13 from AWA is Pickup, issue number one. This is written by Michael Coast with art by Felipe Cunha, 56 pages for $6.99. I'm assuming it's a one shot, but it's an interesting concept. You have it's all kind of very present because it's about social media and influencers and everything. And you've got this character named Nick Nolan, who's a rising star in the influencer world, and he's trying to get advice. His stick is trying to get advice on how to date, right? But he accidentally records evidence of a murder in the background of one of his videos, which puts him in danger over his head. He's got to untangle this mystery. And it says Pickup is a sexy Hitchcockian tale of obsession and updates Rear Window for the influencer age. I thought that was a really cool concept. I'm not familiar with the creative team, and I don't get a lot from AEW these days, but this one sounded pretty interesting and worth the worth the mention, worth the pickup, no pun intended. But so that's why Pickup comes in at number 13. Coming in at number 12 is Thundercats X Silverhawks Road to War issue 1. This is the 40-page one-shot prelude to this big, war between the Thundercats and the Silverhawks, which I actually did not know was happening. I'm a little behind them on Thundercats reading, and I didn't know they were going to cross these over. So I think that's really cool. Let's see, the creators in this one, it's Ed Brisson writing it, of course, and art by Elton Damasi and Alice Leckler, who is someone that I work with. So that's really cool. Really happy for Alice to be featured in this book. There's 3 special tales in this that set up this crossover between these two huge 80s franchises. So I don't read Silverhawks. I did read the first couple of issues, but I do read Thundercats. Again, I'm behind. But I am probably going to at least pick up the first issue of this to check it out, see what it's all about. I think this is really fun concept to put these two kind of groups together, and these new takes on these two groups especially. And from what I remember, if it's the same that it was like a new team of Silverhawks that was kind of sequel to that 80s stuff that was going on. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, that's why Thundercats X Silverhawks comes in at number 12. Coming in at number 11 is Dead Teenagers from Oni Press. This is about 5 friends who've been trapped in this ultimate nightmare since 1997, that forces them to relive prom over and over again and kills them every time. And in strangely odd ways, different ways every single time as well. They dress up, they party, they make out, all that kind of stuff, and they always die. So it's kind of a purgatory kind of thing. Um, Man, this is a really interesting concept as well. It's from GLAAD Award nominated writer Jude Ellison S. Doyle. Not familiar personally, and Caitlin Yarsky, that is a name that I am familiar with, is the artist. This is 32 pages for $4.99. Again, sounds like a creepy, cool concept, perfect for Friday the 13th. So yeah, that's why Dead Teenagers comes in at number 11. All right, getting into our top 10 and a slew of next level books from DC. We've got Batwoman, issue number 1. You might be surprised this one is a little bit low. I've always had a hard time getting into Batwoman single titles. I don't know why, and especially with the original creative team or the original writer Greg Rucka with artist Danny on this one, 32 pages, $3.99 from DC Comics. Obviously, um, I don't I don't know what it is. There's some kind of disconnect. I don't know if it's her personality, Kate's personality, that is off-putting for me. Just I don't know. There's something. There's a disconnect between me and this character, but I might give it one more try. So that's why it's on the list, and it's even not at the very bottom. So that's something. But obviously, this is Kate Kane living in the shadow of her families, the Kane family and the Wayne family. And everything. So, uh, yeah, how do you fight the devil when the devil is real, and how do you win? Is what it says here. So it sounds like more of her personal journey. It does say DC Next Level will redefine Batwoman and her mission for a new generation. So that it does excite me. Maybe this time around it will click. So I'm really hoping. I got my fingers crossed. I'm going to give it a shot. But that's why Batwoman comes in at number 10. Coming in at number 9 is Wonder Woman issue number 31. The Wonder War starts here. The matriarch thing took a little bit of a back seat for a bit, but now we're back to it. And now we've got Wonder Woman. The matriarch, excuse me, continues to be written by Tom King. Daniel Sampier is going to be the artist, which fantastic art. Looking forward to that art. I kind of jump on and jump off of Wonder Woman these days, and I'm in my jump off point. So this will be my jumping on point, and we'll see how this issue goes. But Wonder Woman and her daughter Trinity have to unite to save all that they hold dear. Time's up for the Princess of Themyscira, and the Queen of America will not rest until they bow to her will. So yeah, it's going to be Wonder Woman and Trinity versus the matriarch. That's going to be interesting. Looking forward to that. And that's why Wonder Woman 31 comes in at number 9. Coming in at number 8 is Catwoman issue number 85. Another jumping on point for me. I have not read Catwoman for a while. This is written by Torin Granbeck with art by David Gianfelice. 32 pages, $3.99. Part of the DC Next Level thing. Selina's Gotham homecoming starts here. As it says there on the cover, she is back in Gotham, and things have changed quite a bit. I mean, Vandal Savage is the chief of police. Poison Ivy is the mayor. There's a lot of differences, and now she's going to have to figure out how to survive in this new environment in Gotham. And amidst all these, though, one constant remains. It says here, a very powerful enemy has been awaiting her return and won't remain masked any longer. So I'm really curious about that as well. So we'll see. This is going to be a fresh start for a lot of people jumping into these books, and the same for me for this one as well. So that's why Catwoman comes in at number 8. Coming in at number 7 is Nightwing issue 136, which is another book that I dropped off of. And so this will be another point to be able to possibly jump into. 32 pages for $4.99 this time around, written by Dan Waters with art by Dennis Cohen. I like the creative team here. That's a good, solid creative team. We'll see what this is all about. This is the crossroads starting here. Bloodhaven's past could destroy its future, it says. This is a new era. The city's new superhighway was supposed to be a lifeline, but has become a hotbed for violent incidents. Nightwing's investigation has kind of driven him to a tragedy that he might not ever recover from, and it sends him looking to, into Bloodhaven's past and, secrets, answers there and everything. So we already know Bloodhaven has a lot of secrets, so we're going to see what that is all about. Sounds kind of interesting. They call it a supernatural noir tale of urban folklore. That's quite a description, so we'll see what it has to offer. But that's why Nightwing comes in at number 7. Absolute Flash is our number 6. This is a new story, a new arc. The last arc ended with last issue as Wally runs off, separating himself from everyone after everything that went down at Fort Fox and all of that. It's kind of a new, fresh beginning for all the characters, for the Rogues and for Wally. So we're going to see what Wally is up to now. It says he's picking up the pieces of his life and he's adrift and unsure what to do, and he's looking for a way forward. So I'm really excited about that. This is written by Jeff Lemire, who's doing a fantastic job with this book with artist Haining. So yeah, that's why Absolute Flash comes in at number 6. Now let's get into those top 5. Coming in at number 5 is Invincible Universe Battle Beast issue number 7. This took a little bit of a hiatus. We're back with the second arc of this book. Battle Beast continuing his quest to find the one being who can defeat him in battle, but the Viltrumites are looming. So we know his history with the Viltrumites if you read Invincible or if you watched Invincible. Invincible, by the way, season 4 coming next week, I believe. So if you're a fan of that, this is written by Robert Kirkman with art by Ryan Ottley. So the Invincible team back together. It's a really fun, action-packed book. So if you like that and you like this character, check it out. But that's why Battle Beast comes in at number 5. Coming in at number 4 is Lobo, going back to DC's Next Level. Specifically, this is a brand new series written by Scotty Young with art by Jorge Corona. That creative team alone brought me in. I'm not the hugest Lobo fan, but you put Scotty Young and Jorge Corona on it, and I'm like, okay, I'm paying attention. So yeah, the main man is back, baby, as it says there. In his ride as a motorcycle, it moves at the speed of sound, but only if that sound is a ripping guitar solo, and you better hop on before he leaves you in the dust with all the... Well, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it doesn't give you a whole lot to go on here. Just if you know Lobo, it's more Lobo. But it's by Scotty Young and Jorge Corona. That's all I need to know, and that's why Lobo comes in at number 4. Coming in at number 3 is The Sentry, issue number 1. This is written by Paul Jenkins with art by Christian Rosato. This is 32 pages, $4.99. It says here, he's been an Avenger, a Dark Avenger, and a Thunderbolt. The Sentry is back, but so is the Void. Paul Jenkins is the person that kind of created and retroactively fit the Sentry into the Marvel Universe, which I always thought was kind of a fun concept. So I'm looking forward to his take on the Sentry again, especially because I didn't love the movie take on the Sentry. So I'm looking forward to seeing the Sentry back in the comics. We've also got Reed Richards, Spider-Man, and the Kingpin in this story. So I mean, you put Spider-Man in a book, I'm gonna be curious. So I'm really curious about this book, and that's why it does come in at number 3. Coming in at number 2 is New Titans issue number 33. This is written by Tate Bromble with art by Sammy Basri. And this is an all-new lineup, and it all starts here, as it says there. Who are the new Titans? We do know some of these characters. Let me see if we've got Arsenal, Batgirl, Beast Boy, Cyborg, Donna Troy, Nightwing, Raven, Starfire, Superman, John Kent, Terra, and Wonder Girl, Yara Flor. So we haven't seen Yara Flor in a while. Stephanie Brown, we haven't seen her in a bit either. So I'm glad to see both of those featured here. Terra, just out of DCKO, she kind of came back into the forefront there. And John Kent being on the Titans, I like that a lot. So the Titans have earned some much-deserved rest back in Titans Tower. They're glad to be reunited again, but it almost feels too good to be true. Are these Titans who they claim to be? And if they can't trust each other, can they even trust themselves? So yeah, this is a point where I'll be jumping. Well, not really jumping in. I have been reading it. I read it through DCKO, but this is a fresh start for the book and a whole new roster of characters. So I'm really curious about it, and that's why New Titans comes in at number 2. And here we go. Coming in at number 1 is Deathstroke the Terminator issue number 1. World's deadliest assassin hits the next level with Tony Fleeks and Carmine Di Giandomenico, and that creative team, Tony Fleeks and Carmine Di Giandomenico, is why this book, the sole reason why this book is in number one for me. I love Tony Fleeks' writing. Carmine Di Giandomenico, I have a really hard time saying that name apparently, is a fantastic artist, but Tony Fleeks is a top level writer for me. I love everything that he puts out, so I'm always excited to try something new that he's working on, and Deathstroke just happens to be that thing this time. I do like Deathstroke the character. I've read several series with Deathstroke before. Some stick, some don't. But I have a feeling with Tony Fleeks behind the wheel, this one is going to be fantastic. It says soldier turned superhero assassin or superhuman assassin for hire. Slade Wilson has made hundreds of enemies in his day, and now one of them is taking his world apart piece by piece. The hit is out on Deathstroke as he evolves into his purest form, a Terminator out for revenge and ready to kill anyone who stands in his way. So I love that. It describes it as a brutal violence with over-the-top action and intrigue from the twisted mind of writer Tony Fleeks, with pulse-pounding art by Carmine Di Giandomenico, who's from the Flash series. DC's contract-killing boogeyman is back and bloodier than ever. I mean, that description says it all too. I'm all for that. And what a way to cap off our top 13 here on Friday the 13th, on Friday 1st. And that's why Deathstroke comes in at number one. And there you have it. There is our top 13 for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help the channel. Also, leave a comment below. Let me know which of these books that you're looking forward to, especially which DC Next Level books are you looking forward to. And don't forget to hit that subscribe and notification bell if you haven't done so already, so you don't miss any of the content on the channel. Of course, you can follow me across social media at Only Good Comics, or type in onlygoodcomics.com to take you right back to this YouTube channel where we talk about only good comics. Until next time, thanks for watching. Take care. Keep reading those comics. Happy Friday the 13th, and I'll see you soon.